Okay, hey guys, I'm going to take you through a bit of a revision on how to use GLPI to write up a ticket. So we're going to go ahead and I've logged in as a GLPI administrator, but you could log in as your admin account. And what I'm going to do is basically go across and create a ticket. So there's some details up here that we can fill in if we want to about basically the time to resolve a problem, but we're going to skip that. We just want to make sure that the incident type is set. You can obviously have requests, which are things you're planning for, and incidences, which are things that have occurred you were planning for. And by default, our help desk inquiries are all going to be incidences. The request is going to be me. I'm going to put down myself as a watcher for this, and the person we're going to assign the task to is going to be a tech. Alternatively, you could go down and find yourself in that list and assign it yourself that way as well. Okay, this is going to be a new incident, so we'll leave that alone. Depending on the scenario, whether you think particularly if you think there's a safety risk, you may want to change the urgency of acting on this request to higher than medium. And equally, if you feel that the impact of this call is going to have a detrimental effect, you can change this as well. So for example, if we were generating student certificates and the computer that's doing that has crashed, that might be seen as the impact on the organisation might be seen as very high. Same if it was printing out salary or wages slips and things like that. So you can vary the impact as well of what this is going to do if you want. Over here, I'm going to choose the location, and for the exercises that we're doing in the help desk, we're just going to either pick our classroom, or if we're pretending to be from another business, we'll choose sample client business. If we know the nature of the fault that we're addressing in the help desk call, we can select it from this list. So in this scenario, I'm going to pretend that the user has contacted us and they've noticed a very loud fan noise coming from the back of the computer. So I'm going to describe that as an issue that's associated around computer. Okay, I've got nothing else there, so we'll put in our title. When you're recording the details of the person contacting you, you'll have to put these in the description. GLPI is really mostly set up for intranet, so it's set up for internal clients rather than external clients, but it works good enough for what we want to do. So we'll say Sally Ann is our client, and her address is whatever her business happens to be that she works at. And then we'll put a little bit of a description. Okay. And we'll add the ticket to GLPI. Okay, now that we've done that, we want to go ahead and look at our tickets. And there it is, so we'll select it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to process the ticket. So there's going to be several tasks involved with this. So I'm going to add a task. So we're going to add that as a task. And I might put so the two tasks we're going to have is we're going to notify Dell to collect the PC, and obviously we'd pass on their things like our asset number and things like that, so they know what they're dealing with, location of the computer. And then when they've advised us an ETA for when they're going to pick it up, we will advise Sally Ann, okay, that she can expect someone in her office to collect the computer. So since we're playing, I'm sort of playing the big boss here, so I've got access to all the features of GLPI. I'm just going to stay in this account to do all this, so you could be an administrator account, for example. And we'll just presume for the purposes of this exercise that you are also playing the role of the technician. So these are the things you've done, so you've ticked those off. So at this point, we can say that the problem has been resolved. So in the solution, we can put Dell advised computer picked up and replaced with new PC. That might be our solution, so we'll add that. And so at this point, we've had the initial help desk call. We've had our steps that we expect to happen, and our help desk person's been updating the records by ticking them as they go through. They've noted, as far as they're concerned, that the issue is now resolved. Their supervisor in the help desk would look at this path and go, that seems reasonable to me. If they've got any comments, they'd put them in here, and then they would approve the solution. So once we've finished, you can see there's our starting point and there's the conclusion for this particular problem. So once I've done that, that's saved into GLPI. I can go ahead and print that to PDF and print out a copy of that for my file. And if that was my activity I had to do, I could then upload that into Canvas. So I hope that helps, give you a bit of an overview of and a reminder of how to work with GLPI.